It's time for another podcast by George. Straight talk, straight from the Heartland, that'll have you saying, "By George, I think he's got it." Now, here's George.
Hello, hi, how are you? And welcome to another podcast by George. Well, we've got just a short one for you here today. It's kind of a news flash. It's kind of an extra, harkening back to the era of the dime newspapers out there on the street corner. Not very many people remember that, and you almost have to be from a big city to recall, but it used to be they would put out a special issue of a paper during the course of a day. A morning paper, came out in the early mornings, and then in the afternoon, if there was a big news event, they come out with an extra. And that's where the extra read all about it thing came from. Well, okay, we got a little bit of an extra here for you today. Kamala Harris running for president of the United States. That prosecuting attorney, that DA from California that did so well in the debates, she was out on the stump here in West Des Moines, Iowa, and I heard her talking about Donald Trump, and I think this is rather unprecedented. It's newsworthy. You're going to be hearing about it in the media, but I wanted you to get it first from a podcast by George, calling the current sitting president of the United States a predator. We got to put it in context so you know that what she's talking about. Here's Kamala Harris in West Des Moines, Iowa.
I became a prosecutor because certainly I wanted to do what was necessary to reform the system from the inside, and I also wanted to make sure that I could be in a place where I could protect people. And so I took on successfully, and I prosecuted the big banks when they preyed on homeowners. I've prosecuted the pharmaceutical companies when they preyed on seniors. I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations when they preyed on women and children. I know predators, and we have a predator living in the White House. And let me tell you, there's a little secret about predators. Donald Trump has predatory nature and predatory instincts. And the thing about predators you should know is that they prey on the vulnerable. They prey on those who they do not believe are strong. And the thing about predators you must most importantly know, predators are cowards. Predators are cowards. And so when we look at this campaign, and we look at the task before us, it will be to successfully prosecute the case against 4 more years of Donald Trump, and I am prepared to do that. And in the spirit of celebrating the independence of our nation and honoring the framers and all those who fought for the words that we spoke in 1776 to have meaning, let us also recognize that before us in this election is not only prosecuting that case against the current occupant, it is about fighting for an America that is reflective of our values and our ideals. And in our America, no one should have to work more than one job to have a roof over their head and food on the table. In our America, every woman will have access to reproductive health without somebody in a state legislature telling her what to do. In our America, women will be paid equally as men. In our America, climate crisis will be handled not pushing science fiction, but instead embracing science fact. In our America, we will reform our criminal justice system, and we will ensure that no baby is separated from their parents in the name of border security when in fact it is a human rights abuse. In our America, our students will be able to go to school without facing a burden of student loan debt that gives them so much stress that I have met our young people who are wondering if they can ever have a family because they may not be able to pay those bills. In our America, and the America we are prepared to fight for today, in our America, we will be proud, we will lift up, instead of beating down, and we will be the best of who we are, because we cannot turn back the page any longer. We're ready to write a new chapter. Thank you, West Des Moines.
How about that? Calling the President of the United States a predator. And I'm sure she's not alone in that. There are people longing for this type of aggressive talk regarding Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris is going right at him, right off of what a lot of people consider was the debate win in the first round of the Democratic presidential debates. Well, I wanted to get that out there. It's an extra hear all about it on Podcast by George in West Des Moines, Iowa. Now, I'm going to have a follow-up with some additional comments by Harris, also appearing Amy Klobuchar, and showing her wit and wisdom on full display at the same, it was a picnic for the West Des Moines Democrats. Cindy Axne, U.S. Representative, was also there. We're going to have that in a follow-up podcast, but I wanted to flash this out right away, and I thought it was of interest. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you like it. Stay tuned. There's more to come from a podcast by George.